If you are reading this right now, it is not by chance. Something bigger than coincidence has brought you to this exact moment, to these specific words. There is a woman whose life is intersecting with yours in ways you cannot yet fully comprehend. And what happens next depends entirely on the choice you are about to make. I need you to understand something before you move forward. This is not just another message you will scroll past and forget. This carries weight. This carries purpose. And your response to it will create ripples that extend far beyond what you can currently see. You were meant to be here. Out of everyone who could have encountered this moment, you are the one sitting here now. And that is not random. I have been guiding your steps toward this intersection because I see something in you that perhaps you have not fully recognized in yourself yet. There is a capacity within you for compassion, for action, for making a difference when it matters most. And right now, in this very moment, it matters more than you realize. Before we go any further, I want you to do something simple. If these words are reaching something inside you, if you feel even the slightest pull toward what I am saying, show that connection by liking this message. It is a small action, but it tells me you are listening. It tells me you are open, and it helps carry this message to others who might be part of this same divine thread we are weaving together. This woman I am speaking about is not a concept. She is real. Her struggles are real. The pain she carries is not something I am exaggerating to get your attention. She is standing at a crossroads where the path forward feels impossible to navigate alone. She has been asking for help in ways that do not always come with words. Silent prayers, quiet desperation. The kind of need that most people never voice out loud because they have learned that the world does not always listen. But I listen, and I am answering her through you. You might be wondering why you. Why not someone with more resources, more time, more certainty about what to do? Here is what you need to understand. I do not call people based on their abundance. I call them based on their willingness. I do not choose those who feel ready. I prepare those who say yes. Your doubts about whether you are enough do not disqualify you. They make you human. What matters is not your perfection, but your response. There is something unfolding right now that you cannot see with your physical eyes, but you can feel it if you pay attention. It is that sense deep in your chest that tells you this matters. That sense that made you keep reading instead of scrolling away. That is not your imagination. That is me reaching through the noise and chaos of your day to touch something true inside you. That is the part of you that knows you were made for more than just existing. You were made to be part of something meaningful. The help this woman needs might not look the way you expect. It might be simpler than you think, or it might require something you did not know you had to give. But whatever form it takes, your involvement is not accidental. I am positioning you as a bridge. When you allow me to move through you, even the smallest gesture becomes powerful in ways that defy logic. A word becomes healing, a decision becomes transformation, a moment becomes a turning point. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking about your own challenges, your own uncertainties, the weight you are already carrying. You are wondering how you can possibly help someone else when your own life feels like it is barely holding together. Let me tell you something that will change how you see this. Purpose is not found by waiting until everything in your life is perfect. Purpose is found by showing up in the imperfect moments and choosing to act anyway. When you help from a place of your own struggle, you bring something that cannot be taught or manufactured. You bring understanding, you bring empathy that comes from lived experience. You bring the kind of authentic connection that only exists between people who have both known what it means to keep going when giving up felt easier. This woman does not need someone who has never faced hardship. She needs someone who knows what it costs to continue and chooses to do it anyway. Type Amen in the comments if you are still with me. Let me know you are hearing this. I want to be clear about something. This is not manipulation. This is not me trying to guilt you into something you do not want to do. This is me revealing a truth that already exists. You already care. I can see it in the fact that you are still here, still reading, still considering what this means. That caring is not weakness. It is strength that has been placed within you intentionally. It is part of how you were designed, and when you act on it, you align with something greater than yourself. There is urgency in this moment, not the manufactured kind that tries to pressure you into a thoughtless decision, but the real kind that comes from understanding that timing matters. This woman is at a point where what happens in the near future will determine the direction of her next chapter. The help she receives now, or does not receive, will shape outcomes in ways that cannot be undone later. You are part of that timing. Your presence in this moment is part of the answer to prayers that have been whispered in the dark. I have watched your journey. I have seen the battles you fight when no one else is paying attention. I have witnessed the moments where you chose to keep going, even when everything in you wanted to quit. Those moments were not wasted. They were preparation. They were shaping you into someone who could stand in moments like this and recognize their significance. Every struggle you have endured has given you eyes to see needs that others might walk past. Every pain you have survived has given you a heart that can hold space for someone else's pain. What if I told you that your own breakthrough is connected to this moment? What if the doors you have been praying would open in your life are waiting on the other side of your obedience right now? I do not make transactions. I do not operate on a system where you do something good and I owe you something in return. But I do work through patterns. And one of those patterns is that when you become a conduit for blessing, blessing begins to flow through your life in ways you did not orchestrate. When you position yourself as someone who responds when I call, you position yourself in the current of my movement. Leave a comment below telling me what you are feeling right now. Do not overthink it. Just share what is happening in your heart as you take this in. Let me address the fear I know is sitting in your mind. You are afraid you might fail. You are afraid you might not know what to say or do. You are afraid you might make things worse instead of better. I want you to hear this clearly. Your adequacy is not the foundation this stands on. I am the foundation. When you move forward in trust, I do not send you alone. I go with you. I provide what is needed as it is needed. Your job is not to have everything figured out. Your job is to be willing. Faith is not certainty. Faith is trust in the absence of certainty. It is moving forward even when you cannot see the entire path. It is taking the first step and trusting that the second step will be revealed when you need it. You do not need a roadmap for the entire journey. You just need to respond to what is in front of you right now. This woman has been carrying something heavy for too long. The details of her situation are hers to share if she chooses. But what I can tell you is that she has reached a point where she cannot continue carrying it alone. She needs someone to step into the gap. She needs someone to remind her that she is not forgotten. She needs someone to demonstrate that help exists even when it feels like the world has turned away. You might be that someone. In fact, I am telling you that you are. There is something most people never understand about how I work. I do not always send solutions in the packages you expect. Sometimes I send a person. Sometimes I send a moment. Sometimes I send a choice that looks small, but carries the weight of destiny. This is one of those times. What seems like a simple decision on your part is actually a divine appointment that has been arranged with intention and precision. You have been asking for purpose. You have been asking for your life to mean something beyond just paying bills and surviving each day. This is part of my answer. Purpose does not always announce itself with trumpets and grand gestures. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the form of an opportunity to care when no one is watching, to act when it would be easier to stay still, to give when you feel like you barely have enough for yourself. What if the reason certain manifestation techniques have not worked for you is because you have been missing a critical element? Top researchers who have studied consciousness and brain patterns have discovered something fascinating. There is a specific frequency your mind needs to operate at for breakthrough to occur. Most people never activate this frequency, which is why they stay stuck in the same cycles. A 7-second practice rooted in neuroscience has been helping thousands of people shift their mental patterns and create different outcomes in their finances, relationships, and overall life direction. People are moving into homes they once thought were impossible, driving cars they used to only admire, and experiencing a level of freedom they had given up on. But this information is not always available publicly. You can find the link in the description below, but I encourage you to check it soon, because access can change without notice. Now back to what matters most right now. I want you to think about the last time someone showed up for you when you needed it. Maybe it was a friend who called at exactly the right moment. Maybe it was a stranger who offered help when you were struggling. Maybe it was a small act that meant more to you than the person who did it could have known. Remember how that felt. Remember how it changed something in you, even if just for a moment. You have the opportunity to be that for someone else right now. This is not about you being a savior. This is about you being a willing participant in something I am already doing. I am the one orchestrating this. I am the one who sees the full picture. I am the one who knows exactly what this woman needs and exactly what you have to offer. Your role is simply to trust me enough to move when I say move. Type 777 if you trust where this is going. I am going to tell you something that might challenge you. You have been underestimating yourself for too long. You have been listening to voices that tell you that you are not enough, that you do not have what it takes, that you should leave the important work to other people. Those voices are lies. I made you with specific capacity for specific moments. This is one of those moments. You were built for this. Not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to let me work through your imperfection. There is a shift happening in your life right now, whether you recognize it fully yet or not. You are moving from one season into another. Part of that transition involves you stepping into a different level of responsibility and impact. I am not calling you to a life of ease. I am calling you to a life of meaning, and meaning often requires us to stretch beyond our comfort zones, to give when it costs us something, to show up when it would be easier to hide. This woman is not just receiving from you. You are receiving from this encounter as well. Every time you act in alignment with me, you grow. Every time you choose obedience over comfort, you become stronger. Every time you respond to a call like this, you reinforce the truth of who you are becoming. You are not the person you were a year ago. You are not even the person you were last month. You are evolving, and this moment is part of that evolution. If you have made it this far, leave a comment letting me know. Just type the word ready. That simple word tells me you are understanding what is happening here. I know that part of you is still hesitant. That is normal. Change always brings hesitation, even when it is change toward something better. But I want you to consider what happens if you do not respond. What if this moment passes and you look back later with regret, wondering what could have been different if you had just taken the step? What if the breakthrough you have been praying for was waiting on the other side of this decision, and you missed it because fear was louder than faith? I am not trying to scare you. I am trying to wake you up to the reality of how significant this moment actually is. Opportunities like this do not come around constantly. There are windows that open for a season, and when that season closes, the window closes with it. This is your window right now. Today, in this moment as you read these words, the connection between you and this woman goes deeper than you realize. You might never meet her face to face. You might never know her name, but in the spiritual realm, there are threads that connect people for purposes that transcend the physical. You are connected to her. Your decision affects her. Your action creates impact in her life, and in ways you cannot predict. Her breakthrough might be connected to yours. I want to talk to you about identity for a moment. You have been carrying an identity that was handed to you by circumstances, by other people's opinions, by failures and disappointments. But that is not your true identity. Your true identity is found in your connection to me and in the purposes I have placed within you. When you act on those purposes, you step into alignment with who you really are. Everything else is just noise, trying to convince you of a lesser version of yourself. This moment is an invitation to remember who you are. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not limited by your past. You are not disqualified by your doubts. You are mine. And I have equipped you with everything you need to respond to the opportunities I place in front of you. This woman needing help is one of those opportunities. How you respond reveals what you believe about yourself and what you believe about me. I have been building something in you that you might not have recognized until now. Patience, compassion, resilience. The ability to see beyond surface level needs into the deeper places where true transformation happens. All of those qualities are active in you right now. They are ready to be used, and this situation is the perfect environment for them to operate. Let me tell you what is happening on a level you cannot see. Spiritual forces are at work in this moment. There is opposition that does not want you to respond, because your response threatens the plans that darkness has for this woman's life. There is also divine support, surrounding you, strengthening you, guiding you, making a way where there seems to be no way. You are not in this alone, even when it feels lonely, even when it feels like you are figuring everything out by yourself. Always type 1 if you believe what I am telling you. The doubt you feel is not a sign that you should not move forward. It is actually evidence that this matters. Doubt only shows up when something is significant. If this were meaningless, you would not be wrestling with it. The fact that you are still here, still considering, still weighing your response, means that something in you recognizes the importance of what is happening. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine this woman's face when she realizes that someone responded to her need. Imagine the relief that washes over her when she understands that she is not alone. Imagine the shift that happens in her spirit when evidence shows up that her prayers were heard. That image you are seeing in your mind right now is not fantasy. It is potential reality. And you are the one who can make it real. What if most people struggle with finances not because they are lazy or incapable, but because they have never activated a specific frequency in their brain that governs abundance? Research connected to programs that studied consciousness at the highest levels has revealed something remarkable. There is a particular brainwave pattern that successful people share, and it can be activated intentionally. This 7-second ritual based on neuroscience findings is helping people completely transform their relationship with money and opportunity. Individuals are moving into dream homes, purchasing vehicles they used to think were out of reach, and traveling in ways they never imagined possible. But this information might not remain accessible indefinitely. You can check the link in the description and comments. But I recommend doing so quickly before availability changes. Let us return to what is most important. You are standing at a crossroads. One path leads to you continuing on as you have been, carrying your routines, your patterns, your familiar rhythms. There is safety in that path. There is predictability. But there is also limitation. The other path leads to you stepping into something new, something that stretches you, something that carries risk, but also carries profound meaning. That path is less comfortable, but it is the one that leads to growth. I am inviting you to take the second path, not because I want to make your life harder, but because I want to make your life fuller. There is a depth of experience available to you that can only be accessed through stepping into moments like this. When you say yes to helping, you say yes to becoming more of who you were meant to be. This woman's situation is not hopeless. I want to be clear about that. Hope exists. Change is possible. Breakthrough is available. But those things require action. They require participation. They require someone to bridge the gap between where she is and where she needs to be. I am asking you to be that bridge, not because you are better than anyone else, but because you are here, you are available, and you are willing. There is a principle that governs how I work. I move through willing vessels. I do not force my way into situations. I wait for invitation. I wait for cooperation. When you offer yourself as a vessel, when you say I am available, use me, everything changes. Suddenly, resources you did not know you had become accessible. Wisdom you did not think you possessed begins to flow. Strength you thought was depleted gets renewed. This is how partnership with me operates. I need you to understand something crucial. What I am asking you to do is not beyond you. It might feel beyond you, but that feeling is not based in truth. It is based in the old story you have been telling yourself about your limitations. I am offering you a new story, one where you are capable, one where you have impact, one where your choices matter in ways that ripple out into other people's lives. Which story will you choose to believe? Drop a comment and let me know what decision you are making right now. I want to hear from you. The transformation that happens when you step into this is not just external. Yes, this woman's life will be impacted. Yes, circumstances will shift. But the deeper transformation happens inside you. You begin to see yourself differently. You begin to recognize capacity you did not know existed. You begin to understand that your life is not small or insignificant. You carry weight, you carry purpose, you carry the ability to alter the trajectory of another human being's story. That realization changes everything. It changes how you walk into rooms. It changes how you make decisions. It changes how you see opportunities that come across your path. You stop asking, can I, and start asking, will I? That shift from capacity to willingness is the difference between a passive life and an active one, between existing and truly living. I am not asking you to change the whole world. I am asking you to change one person's world. And when you do that, you discover that changing one person's world changes your world too. It creates a ripple effect that extends in directions you cannot predict. Who knows what this woman might do with her life once she gets through this season? Who knows how many other people she might impact because you decided to show up for her right now? The math of kingdom work does not operate on simple addition. It operates on multiplication. Your one act creates infinite possibilities. Let me address something I know is in your mind. You are wondering about the specifics. What exactly does she need? How exactly are you supposed to help? Those are fair questions, but they are not the questions that determine whether you should respond. The question that matters is this: will you trust me enough to move forward, even when you do not have all the details figured out? I will give you what you need to know, when you need to know it. I will guide each step. I will make the path clear as you walk it. But first, you have to decide to walk. You have to commit to being part of this. Everything else unfolds from that commitment. Type 2 to receive what is being prepared for you. There are moments in life that define you. Moments where you look back years later and recognize that everything changed because of a choice you made. This is one of those moments. I am not exaggerating to manipulate you. I am stating truth to empower you. How you respond to this opportunity will set something in motion that affects not just the immediate situation, but your long-term trajectory. You have been praying for clarity about your purpose. You have been asking me to show you why you are here, what you are supposed to be doing with your life. This is part of my answer. You are here to be love in action. You are here to demonstrate that people are not alone, even when they feel isolated. You are here to be a tangible expression of my care in a world that often feels careless. When you live from that understanding, everything shifts. Work becomes more than just a paycheck. Relationships become more than just social connections. Time becomes more than just something to fill. Everything takes on meaning because you are operating from purpose instead of just routine. This woman needs you, but you also need this. You need the growth that comes from stepping up. You need the confidence that builds when you do something that scares you and discover you were capable all along.